Now, the last thing that you're going to do before you actually dive into your books is select a playlist. Personally, I believe in studying with classical music. Sometimes I do go off board and I'd be listening to house music, especially amapiano. But classical music usually works best. And if you prefer any other music and you can actually study to it and you can actually grasp concepts through it, then that's absolutely fine. But basically, this is what you do before you start studying. You select, you search for that playlist, you make sure that it's on board for your study session. Most universities are now using videos, especially through YouTube, to now give their lectures. And this is my advice to everyone who is now learning through that method. I'd advise that you make your notes first. So I know that, for example, they'll give you a heads up that in this video we'll be discussing chapter 5, for example. Go through your textbook, your note, or any study material, written study material that you have on chapter 5, and make your own comprehensive notes. The videos will be merely to add on to your notes and to get any clarification on things that you didn't understand while you were making your notes. And the reason why I'm saying this is because these videos are usually fast, and for example, I for one don't write as fast as the speed of those videos, so it makes me less anxious if I do notes before watching the video, and as I watch the video I then add on to my notes, or I just add on to my own clarification if there was something that I didn't understand. So I'll just show you an example of what comprehensive notes would entail. I still use the method that I used in high school of dating my work. So this is not from today, by the way, but it's the most recent one. So I'll date my work. There you go. So I'll say the date, 13th of May 2020, and right there I'll just have the heading of the topic. Okay, now what you see here in the purple color and what you see there in the pink highlighter is the method that I use. So I'm a very colorful person, so all my headings will be purple in this book, and all my definitions or processes or any of those things that fall beneath a certain section are going to be highlighted in pink. Okay, it just makes it easier for me. And then I will highlight the important concepts in blue, and basically my examples will be written in green. And this is really, you can choose your own colors, of course, depending on what pops in your mind immediately. For me, there isn't a specific color really, it must just be colorful for me to remember it, because that's just how my brain works. So just an example of where I show you the different colors that I use. There you go. This is my book. These are the definition. These are the important things within this section of work. These are my definitions or my important concepts, and this is the main concept. Obviously these are now diagrams, but basically this is what I mean by making comprehensive notes. So make your comprehensive notes before you watch your lecture videos, and when you watch your lecture videos, just add on to your notes for any clarification that you needed while making those notes. Now, the reality of it is that not all these notes are all fun and glory. Some of them are boring and can put you to sleep. What I would advise you to do is to really focus, guys. I mean, there's nothing else that I can really advise you to do. Remember now, those videos are all you have. Okay? And so treat them as the crutch that they are. They are your pillar to stand on. Yes, I know sometimes they might put you to sleep, but just keep in mind whenever you feel like sleeping that these videos are all I have, and this is the only study material that will basically aid me in passing the specific module or the specific course for the year 2020. So just focus. That would be my advice regarding the videos. And I always find that it's better when you watch them twice. I know data is, I'm one of the, I'm one of the privileged one who has Wi-Fi at home, but I know not everyone has that luxury. So if you can, I'd advise that you watch the videos twice. If you can't, make the most of the first time that you do watch the video. I've showed you my assessment plan as well as my monthly calendar. Okay, and that monthly calendar is specifically for my academics. What I wanted to speak about regarding that is that I'd advise everyone to have that plan, and each and every day on the first of each month, jot down what's going to happen for the whole month. If you are in the University of Pretoria, I think you are fortunate enough that we have lecturers who will lay this out for us, because they hand us yearly planners, so you already know from the first day what you're going to do for the rest of the year. So you can jot down your topics and whatnot on the calendar. If you're not at the University of Pretoria, I'm pretty sure that they also still provide you with year planners or study guides where they state what topic you'll be doing in which week, and use that to fill out your calendar, your academic calendar. This is specifically for your academics. Please don't now go and write your dates. I have a date, a movie night, or pizza, whatever, with whoever. This academic calendar is not for that. This one is specifically and strictly for your books. And then as well as your assessment plan, that's where you're just going to jot down all the assessments that you have for that month. I feel it's better when you split the two, just so you don't miss out on assessments that you should be handing in or work that you should be handing in, So just do that. Have an academic calendar and have an assessment calendar, and try to stick to that every day. It won't happen every day. I'm here to burst the bubble, unfortunately, and I apologize for that, but the reality is that life happens, and unfortunately there are those days where work just doesn't want to show up, the stamina to do it, the motivation, the determination, and that's okay. I would say that in a week, you're only allowed at most two days to slack. Like if you go in 3 days, you've ruined it, because now that means you're going to have to not sleep on certain nights trying to catch up. 2 days is enough, and that's all you need to allow yourself to have those lazy days, What's another thing that I wanted to touch on? I don't know how best this works, but I assign my weekends to assessments and studying. So during the week, I'll be pushing work and I'll be doing the questions for that work or whatever assessments that I need to do for that work. But my Saturdays and Sundays are specifically for doing any assignments that are due the following week, or any studying that I need to do for the following week's test. So if that works for you, then I would advise you to do that. It does work for me. If it doesn't work for you, you can always play around with your timetable and see what works best for you. The very last thing that I want to speak about is the topic of sleep. So this video is specifically for students who are in varsity, and I hate to break it, but the reality is that 8 hours of sleep is no longer really a realistic sort of boundary to now set for yourself if you are in university. I know there are some people who are able to still sleep for 8 hours and still get great marks, and if you are one of those fortunate ones, then big ups to you. But for the rest of us, we always need to work extra hard to get the same grades, to understand the same concepts at the same level. I would say as a varsity student, you need to be sleeping 6 to 7 hours. And this is just now for your brain to work properly the next day. Because what happens is if you don't get enough sleep, you're depriving yourself the opportunity of taking in certain information, because now your brain is just so exhausted and it can't handle the day's workload. So you need sleep. What I'm saying is 8 hours, 9 hours. I know some people even push 10 at varsity level. Guys, come on. That's not realistic. Realistically speaking, that is not it. And the last thing that I wanted to say is that if you want an A, you need to put in an A's worth of effort. You can't put in a B's worth of effort and expect an A. You are going to get a B if you put in the work for B. If you put in the work for A, for getting an A, you will get an A. And that is just how life works. You get what you put in, you know? I hope this has helped you. I wanted to just be realistic about certain things because I've watched so many videos on how to study online, and I feel like some of them are just too perfect, and unfortunately I don't live in a perfect world, and I wanted to share my imperfect world with you guys, and to see and to show you that it's still doable even with those little imperfections. Until next week for the next episode, goodbye.